Good evening, campers, and welcome aboard the Starship Nightwish. I'm Commander Exorcist, and it is time once again for Talk Go Tuesday. This is my weekly Elite Dangerous show where I pick a Galnet article, read it, talk about it, primarily from a lore perspective, but I will break the fourth wall if necessary. What an incredible weekend we've had in Elite Dangerous. So, as I've talked about a little bit on this show, in previous Galnet articles, a little bit of speculation. Titan Kosijo. Yeah, Kosijo didn't behave itself, as we discussed, and there's been widespread conjecture about what could possibly happen with Titan Kosijo. Could it just pack up its stuff and leave and disappear, maybe run back to wherever it came from, or could it unleash 10 more Titans? Maybe it's all a big joke, and all 7 of the destroyed Titans are going to miraculously come back to life and attack us from beyond the grave. Well, we got something much more interesting. Titan Kosijo packed its stuff and left all right, but it's heading for the heart of humanity. Kosijo is heading for Sol, and we got probably one of the best trailers for an event for this game I think we've ever got, in that 2 or 3 minutes with Kosijo and the Thargoids coming out from behind the dish on Voyager 1. That was epic. It really was. And props to breaking the fourth wall for a moment. Props to Frontier for the quality on that one. Huge step up. Huge step up. So, and it was funny because there were people that were even like, well, maybe it's not going to Sol. Read the tea leaves, okay? Like, it's not that difficult. They're not going to show you Sol assets if it's not going to Sol. But anyway, we don't have to speculate about that today because it has been confirmed that Titan Kosijo is on its way to Sol. We know for sure where it's going. We don't know exactly where in the system it's going. I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute, about some more conjecture about where in Sol it actually might be going, because there's one very obvious location that might be for consideration. But today's article is really about the approaching Titan. So we got widespread panic in Sol as Kosijo approaches. Confirmation that the final Titan, Kosijo, is headed for the Sol system has sparked mass panic among the inhabitants, all 22 billion of them. So they need rescue. So if you've got a ship and you can handle passengers, get out there and rescue them, please. Evacuation efforts in Sol began as a precaution on November 28th when Titan Kosijo first moved towards the core systems. Once it became clear that Kosijo was on a direct course for Sol, these efforts were swiftly accelerated. So there is a rescue megaship a couple of jumps away from Sol that is taking on evacuees. So if you can support, get in there, make some awesome credits in the process. Be careful because you will be interdicted either going in or coming out of Sol. One of the ways you're getting hit. So make sure that you bring countermeasures and heat sinks. Be ready to dodge a glaive or two. Defense Secretary Con Montgomery provided the following update to the Federal Times. Rescue ship Cornwallis is acting as our delivery point for most refugees who do not have access to spacecraft. We're shuttling civilians from Earth to ports within Sol for transport by federal military craft and freelance pilots. Other rescue megaships are scheduled for arrival in the next few days to systems close to Sol, which will increase our capacity to process refugees and deliver them to temporary holdings in neighboring systems. You know, that was really kind of strange for me that there's only one rescue ship that's helping right now. But there's a lot of people, moving a lot of people. So kudos to the pilots that are out there doing that part. I'm out there as well, flying my Type 8. Rescued several hundred at the moment. Still trying to get that up. It's a little bit challenging with the Thargoid interdictions leaving, flying a ship filled with passengers because the Thargoids like to steal them. Again, heat sinks and electronic countermeasures, or silent running, whichever is your preference. We ask for the people of Sol to pack lightly, move to your nearest designated evacuation center, and follow all instructions from federal authorities. This is an extremely complicated operation, With over 22 billion people in the system that need to be kept safe, the Federation is doing everything it can to prepare for Titan Kosijo's arrival. You know, it's one of those moments where the war comes home. These people in Earth and in Earth orbit, all the places that are central to the story of humanity, they've been sitting back for the last few years, not just the last two in the war, but before that, listening to stories of the Thargoids and listening to all the things that are happening out there. Now the war is coming home. It's got to be terrifying. I would be scared to death to think that I had no ship and no way to get out. I was relying on somebody else to get me out of my home, planet Earth. We're evacuating planet Earth in preparation for a Thargoid invasion. I'll say something else about that in a minute. News of Kosijo's approach has triggered significant alarm across Earth, Mars, and major ports. Riots have occurred at evacuation centers as people clamor to be transported out of the system. There have been 2 separate attempts to storm a secure medical facility on Mars where citizens rescued from Thargoid abductions are housed. Ooh, okay. So we're getting backlash. Backlash from those civilians that are being kept and taken care of because people are looking for somebody to blame. And that's what always happens. And unfortunately, that is something we've cultivated throughout the years. It's less about let's fix the problem and more about who can we blame for the problem. Okay, so let's just blame the people that got abducted and spent a couple of months on board Thargoid Titans. Crowds blaming the abductees for summoning Kosijo to Sol. To date, there is no evidence to support such claims. Yeah, there's not. Because, as we've talked about, and as has been repeatedly pushed by Aegis and other agencies that are involved in the Thargoid War, the Thargoids have been very systematic in their approach as far as combat goes. They're looking for something. HIP 22460, the whole salvation thing, it triggered a response from the Goids. They are looking for something. They have had the capacity to waltz into Sol and just start bombing cities from orbit long before this. This means that they're very close to finding whatever it is they're looking for. And I'm hoping it's not like a 2-inch long like metal rod or something that powers their doomsday device that'll let them blank out the sun instantly or something. It's got to be a weapon. I'm convinced it has to be a weapon. That's the only reason that they would go through all of this. Unless the only other option, as I think I talked about it before, is some kind of species-wide ascension. If they're ready to ascend to a higher plane of existence and they need this little Da Vinci Code trinket to be able to help them reach that ascension point, that's a possibility, but I really don't think so. I just think there's been too much bloodshed for something like that. They are close to finding whatever it is. And this is very bad. This is very bad because the Thargoid Titans almost have an ethereal control over whatever region they're in. And the system's already, the outer skirts of the system, once you leave in Super Cruise, it's already swarming with some of the most dangerous types of Thargoid interceptors and support vessels that are out there. They're coming. They are coming, and they're coming in force. But where are they going? Let's finish that last paragraph because it kind of builds on the hostility toward the Titan survivors into everybody's favorite mutant, half cyborg, ascended being, whatever, Sojanai. Icecasts analysts have also noted an increase in online hostility towards Sojanai. There are mean tweets out there about Sojanai, people. The Aegis special advisor, who recently declared her unique link to the Thargoid hive mind, was exploited for information. Some prominent political ice casters have blamed her for providing the Thargoids with the location of humanity's original homeworld, Earth. I don't believe for a moment that she provided them with the location of Earth. I don't believe for a moment that Thargoids weren't aware of the location of humanity's home world. I don't think it was a big deal. I don't think that the Thargoids see Earth as a decisive victory when it comes to fighting humanity, because they are a hive mind. We are not. So we recognize fighting a hive mind. That's why the interceptors, the glaives, the support vessels, the scouts, we recognize as a species that the Thargoids are a hive mind. So all of those vessels are kind of like keys. Those are the keys that get us to the main nodes of the hive, like the Titans. We're not interested in the scouts. We're not interested in the hydras or the glaives. Those are inconveniences. We want the Titans. We want the core. We want the central nervous system of the hive so that we can stop the invasion, because we recognize that's how they function. If humanity gets the chance, we're going to have to strike at a Thargoid super hive, or a hive ship, or a homeworld of some kind. There has to be a central operating node of some kind, whether it's biological or technological, that we will have to reach out and take out. Humanity's different. You can blow up Earth. You can blow up our home world. You can burn every inch of that planet to a cinder, and the surviving humans will pick up the burned sticks off the ground, and we will chase you with them. Just because you destroy our home doesn't mean you've destroyed our spirit. So I don't think, and I think the Thargoids know that. I think the Thargoids have seen that. I think that's why they've not come for Earth, because they recognize that taking out Earth would not be a victory. It's not going to end the war. If anything, it's going to make us even more angry and more willing to do horrible things to them in retribution. And so, if you have a human being fighting in a war and they're using a weapon and their weapon runs out of ammo, what do they do with the weapon? They take the weapon and turn it into a bat, and they're going to beat you with said weapon. We as human beings, we are relentless. There's always the things, people like to talk bad about humanity and say, humanity's the worst thing to ever happen. I think humanity's great. I think humanity has shown a resilience that's admirable throughout the generations. When you consider all the bad things that humanity has done to each other and other people and other species, other things across the galaxy, how we've exploited so much, yet we've been able to achieve greatness in all of that. And it's because of that tenacity, of that relentlessness. It's a resilience you won't find anywhere else but in the human heart and the human spirit. Kosijo might be coming for Earth, specifically Titan, Triton, a moon somewhere, or maybe it's going to plop itself right in orbit around Earth. I don't know. I just don't think that this is to destroy Earth. They are searching for something. Because if they wanted to, I just don't buy that the Thargoids have taken so many people and so much real estate, so many stations, so many locations. You're telling me that the name Earth and Sol and the coordinates to our home star system is nowhere near to be found in that? I don't buy it. I don't buy it one bit. I think the Thargoids know that they were facing a losing battle if they did that. It would do no good. It really wouldn't. And potentially ruin the opportunity for them to find whatever it is they're looking for, if it happens to be in that star system. They've lost 7 Titans, and now Titan Coco is on its way to Earth. I actually chased it down with a Mandalay the day that it took off. and watched it pass by me in a star system not far from where it had started. It's on its way. And there's some systems you can go to around Sol where at the time of this video going live, you can detect it at about 10,000 light years away. It's coming. And the best thing we can do is keep being relentless. Relentless in our faith that things are going to be all right. Relentless in our drive to help others. Get in there, get in a ship, and help as many people get away as possible. And then get ready to fight. Be relentless in our defense of our home. Because this could be the last chance we have. It's very possible that Earth could be a burning cinder in the next few days. But we have a choice. One, we have a choice of whether that happens. And two, if that happens, we have a choice of how we react to it. And I have a feeling, from what I know and what I've seen, that we're not going to lay down for this. That if Mother Gaia goes up, oh, it's on. You will never underestimate the human race again. The fire and the deadly vengeance to come for something like that, indescribable. I just hope we don't have to see it. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the disciples. If you would like to support my work, I would greatly appreciate you going. Patreon.com/Commander Exorcist. You get early access to some of my playthroughs, behind-the-scenes videos, monthly vlog, and other goodies. Try to make it worth your while. Every bit of support would help, liking this video, subscribing to the channel. We just passed 4,000 subscribers. Thank you all for your support. And leave a comment below. Tell me what you think is happening. What is with Cosijo? And what's it coming to do? We'll have to find out. Hey, everybody. Thanks for your continued support. Thanks for watching today's episode. And like I said, there's a lot happening. There's a lot that's going to happen. And the best thing that we can do as a species is work together to evacuate the people that need to be evacuated and be ready to fight when Cosijo shows up. Because when it does, it's going to show up at full power. And it's going to take every shot that we have to be able to take it down. But this is our home. And Cosijo's making a big mistake by coming into our backyard uninvited. It's time to let loose and slip the dogs of war. Everybody, I'm Commander Exorcist. Take care, fly safe, and I'll see you out there. Good night.